Everybody. How are you doing today? Hi, Melly. I'm so glad you are here. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Shiomara. I am Amy, and this is Amy's Inspiration Station on the Altenew YouTube and Facebook channels. And I'm so excited to have you here with us today. And I thought I'd kind of mix it up a little bit. It's starting to get into the doldrums of fall a little bit where I live. And I am thinking about a little bit of fun. And so we're going to play around with some ink sprays because I haven't pulled those out in a long time. And they're one of those mediums that I love to use, but they can be a little bit messy. So I don't always like grab them right away. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to play around with some ink sprays and see what we got. And hi, Angel, who is behind the badge. I'm so excited that you are here with me today. And who else? We've got Miss Tamp and Shiomara is here. And I know Melly, I hope you are doing well, Melly, where you are. And let me know, do you have a favorite medium? Do you have a medium where you're like, oh, I should be doing that, or I should grab for that? And maybe you're kind of in a rut and whatnot. I missed you too, Angel. I missed you too. Oh, hello, Alicia. How are you doing? I'm so excited. So tell me, ink sprays, are they your go-to? Are they kind of like, oh, yes, and zero waste, autumn flowers. I saw that, Carrie, and that is a new product to us. Of course, I don't have it because it's too new, but I'm going to talk about the zero waste collection. So it's absolutely fabulous. And if you just go to the Altenew website and you go in the search bar and you just type zero waste, there's so many amazing things that come up. And if you share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a gift card, and Angel will be posting that at the end of our program today. And Carrie, yes, I hope that this inspires you to pull out those ink sprays and let's use them. I'll show you like an easy way because I don't like to get messy. I'm not a messy crafter. In fact, fun, like really semi-interesting fact is my mother got a call from preschool saying that Amy does not like to do art. She doesn't like to get her hands dirty. She doesn't like the glue. She doesn't like any of that. And it is true today. It is true today. I got to tell you. Oh, yeah, Shiomara, the new release is gorgeous. Oh, that's a great idea, Carrie. And that's a wonderful thing to do with the sprays is to create new backgrounds, and you can use those. And hello, Terry from Arizona. And you love using sprays. That's great. We're going to get into it. All right. So I am going to go ahead and get my camera down to my workstation, because of course I have so much to do. Oh, and Melly, hello. I'm so glad you guys are here today. And again, please share this live while we're live and you'll be entered to win a gift card. Now, this is not the card we're making, but it's kind of an inspiration. In fact, I grabbed a couple of cards, just a couple of fun folds. We are going to be doing a Z-shaped trifold like this. So I'm going to show you how I make that. They're actually really easy to do. And you get two from one piece of paper, which I love. And this is a card that I made earlier with the same zero waste set, so that because I can't lose anything. And this is fun because it's a little trifold in a different way. And then, of course, who doesn't love a gatefold card? And these are nice. A nice idea if you have any of those leftover pieces, just to shove them on a belly band. Super easy to do. And then you get a cute little gatefold card. So what we're going to start with is we're using this as inspiration. I'm not remaking this card, but I am using it as inspiration. So first thing I'm going to do is share with you, how the heck do you make a Z-fold trifold card? And again, I love them because you get two from one piece of paper. So let me show you how we do that. So I like to start with some really good, like sturdy cardstock that can take a little bit of abuse and beating. Not too thick, but just thick enough. And this, of course, is just an 8.5 by 11. And to make our math work a little bit easier, what I'm going to do is just cut this down. So on the 11-inch side, I am going to cut this to 10.5. And it's just because it's gonna make our math a little bit easier. So let me grab I need a new cutter, a new like big cutter. I don't know if I love this guy anymore. I think we're falling out of love with each other. All right, here we go. That's 11. Here's 10.5, just a 1/2 inch, James. See, mathing is not mathing. That's one of the reasons. Math is not mathing. Most times. All right, so now that we have this down to 10.5, I'm going to use my ruler, and I am just going to make some marks. And I'm going to grab my ruler, and I'm going to start on one side. So it doesn't matter which side, but I'm just going to choose this side. I am going to measure up from the bottom at 6.25 inches. 6.25 inches. Double checking my math, people. All right, so just to 6.25 inches. And so right there. And I'm going to, on this side, go up. I like to do, this can be, if you want to go to 2 3/4, that would work. I think this one's at 2. Yeah, this one's at, no, it's 2. This one is at 2 1/4. All right, so I'm going to go to 2 1/4. And I know for fun folds, it's one of those things. I have like a little cheat sheet in my book of ideas. In fact, I'll even share with you guys in my book of ideas. For those of you who don't know, I have to kind of have all of my ideas down, and I even have like a sketch idea, a little sketchbook that I use. So all of these ideas, if I'm kind of, thinking about something, or I just need a little bit of mojo, I can just go to my sketch ideas or in my book. And this is where I have all the stuff that I kind of think about, measurements, everything as well. It's all inside of my little book of ideas. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 marks, and I am just going to draw a line right between them. Can't even make my line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back my large cutter, and I'm going to go ahead and separate these 2. Peggy, yes, that is a good idea. You want a diversion from anything that's going on, but I'm glad you have internet, so that way you can be with us today. Oops. That way you can be with us today. I appreciate that. All right, and I would love to know, so fun folds, are you guys a fun fold? Do you have like a go-to fun fold shape? What is it that you like to do with the folds? All right, so that's kind of on there. I know, I have to, because Alicia, it's like after a while, the brain, unless it's written down, it's just how I get my, it's how I get ideas to stick into my brain. Otherwise, they just go away. They float away into the ether, and then I don't know where they go. So I have to write them down. So I have a bunch of these little books from over the years. I usually try to get like, one a year. It's kind of like my journal, if you will. But that's kind of what I do. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tri-fold this. And because it's a zigzag, one of the sides is going to fold in and one is going to fold out. And I always get confused with the mountain and the valley and all that kind of thing. So I just kind of finesse it the way it's going to go. So where I'm going to be scoring is I'm going to be scoring at 3. So this is along the 8.5 inch side. No, that's a lie. This is along the 10.5 inch side. So along the 10.5 inch side, I'm going to be scoring at 3.5 and at 7. Now my little scoreboard, the Altenew scoreboard, only goes to 6. So I'm going to flip this around and score it at 3.5, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. All right, so I'm going to score this at 3.5, which is right here. And I saw that Carrie. Oh, that's so great. Yes, Altenew did a series of 5 fun folds on there. Yes, it's fun to have them. You know, I really enjoy making them. They're a lot of fun, and this is why you kind of need the 10.5, so that way you have this and it's a little bit even. And while I'm here, I'm just going to score this other side as well. So all I'm doing is just scoring each side. You can see I'm kind of flipping it over. Like I said, I'll fix the folds, mountain, and all that kind of stuff once I get it out of here and fold it the right way. So I'm just kind of scoring that paper to get that in there. But that little scoreboard's really, really great. Oh, yes. Terry, we're so glad that you are here. And the Facebook group and the YouTube channel are so much inspiration. So we're so glad to have you along. And we have a live every Thursday and Monday afternoon at 3:30. And I am on today. All right, here we go. And if you guys have ideas for other lives, if you're like, oh, Amy, could you do this or try this? Let me know. And I definitely always could be using ideas. All right, so you can see how easy that is. I made a card. Look at that. And again, I love it because I have this other one that I can use. So I have 2 from one sheet of card stock, and I love that. I love it when I get 2 for once. Really, really like that. I feel like I won some sort of jackpot when that stuff happens. And I didn't line up perfectly. I can just cut that off. It's not a problem at all. All right, so there we go. And I even have a little box where I keep all of, my little card bases. So I can just put those right in there and I can grab them when we're going. That's it. It's great. So, hello, Judith. And as we just had a couple of people joining us, we have Angel behind the badge. And Miss Tamp, if I wrote them down, I would try the folds more often. Well, that's the problem is I forget what all the mathing is. And there's a lot of mathing involved. And so that's where I'm like, I don't know what to do. All right. So if I just write them down and then I can kind of review them as I go along. And Sharon's here from Magnolia, Delaware. Hello. All right. And from Milton Prep. Yes. Hello, Tracy. I hope you are doing well. So today we are playing around with fun folds, and specifically I'm focusing in on the trifold Z-fold card. And it's called the Z-fold because it looks like a Z. Really super easy to make. So I just, in the couple minutes I've been on, made one here. So it's easy to use, easy to do. Okay. So now I wanted to, I got to decorate this. So now I have a white blank card I got to decorate. And I have an example that I made using the Zero Waste 3D floral cover die. This one is so nice. I love the different shapes of the flowers, but this was feeling a little, I don't know, a little springy. I think I could make this fallish, but it was feeling a little springy to me, and I've already done it. So, but this is a great set. And again, if you go to the Altenew website and you just type in the search bar, zero waste, you'll get a whole, there's stencils, there's so much there. And in the new release, there is an autumn leaves one that has some different shapes leaves. Like these are all kind of similar looking leaves. That one has like a maple leaf. It's so beautiful. This is the Zero Waste Fun Little Flowers die, and it's cute too. I like this because it's got all these little tiny flowers, but I've had this guy in my stash for a while. And this is a Zero Waste leaf pattern die. And I'm like, I have to use this guy. So I'm going to do that. Tracy, I love that you're from Stress City. I hope you're doing okay down there. Is there a Stress City in every state? Can we just, it's like Springfield. There's a Stress City in every state. Okay. All right. So I love these Zero Waste, but the issue is that you have all these little tiny pieces, and you can see how you have it's one die, but it cuts out a lot of stuff. And you can use the outline. We're actually going to use the outline today. And then you can use all the pieces. And one of the things that you can do is you can make your own background and then die cut from this, but I'm going to actually do it the other way where I cut the pieces and then I'm going to color them in a little bit different. All right. But it's such a great set. Like all of these are fabulous because I hate throwing the pieces away. So that's what we're going to work on today. All right. Nice thing about this is exactly an A2 card size. And so I have a bunch of like pre-printed A2 cards. This is not watercolor paper. I'm just using regular paper for this. It's nice, good, sturdy cardstock. And I'm just going to lay this over and I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. And we're going to collect all those pieces. All right, so here's my big machine and my little guy here. I'm going to put this down. Just making sure that it's lining up so I get everything that I want. And I'm just going to run this through. And there's my pieces. Now I'm going to try to keep all these together. You can run this through a couple of times just to make sure if you like wanted different colors, like if you wanted to do this with colored cardstock, run it through with blue and green and whatever the heck you wanted. But I'm going to show you a faster way. So I don't have like a splat box. And like I had said before, I don't like things to be super messy. So let me start though by showing you, I love ink sprays. I don't have a ton of them. So I'm just going to grab a couple. And Angel, I just put like the last 0H. Oh, autumn leaves, zero waste in my cart right now. Yes. The stuff for the new release for the fall, so adorable. Lots of pumpkins, lots of fun stuff. And again, check out that zero waste autumn cover die. The autumn leaves, so pretty. And hi, Judith from New Hampshire. So glad you are here with us. And we got Judith. How are the leaves coming? Are you having the peepers coming? They're going to be coming this weekend for you. The leaf peepers coming along for you. Now, I know I say that I don't buy that much, but sometimes I do. And there is just no way, Angel, we're getting all of these in. I probably won't even use them all. In the description, I just put like the collection. And it's nice. I kind of like build this. And I agree, Carrie. These last forever. You can see some of them are a little bit more loved. I get some new ones. And I like to mix things along. And I have been building my collection like one spray at a time. And so I, pick a little bit here and there. Do I have a little green? Oh, I got a little yellow, I got some red, I got some purple, I got some blue. And kind of this is what I've come up with. I have to say the ones that I'm always constantly reaching for are the metallic ones. So like antique gold and antique silver, those I grab, and then iridescent. Those I would say these are where you would want to start if you're building up your collection. And then, of course, there's the pure white that I use when I want to use white splatter. And then I have some other ones. The sea glass is absolutely beautiful. This cosmic berry is just this gorgeous dark red. And the lighter ones, these ones I've been playing with a little bit, but not quite as much. So I have these off to the side. So ink sprays, like I said, I grab them, but sometimes I don't think about using them. Sometimes I don't think about using them all the time. All right. So like I said before, I really hate making mess. And so I have a random box. It's probably an Amazon box. I don't know where we got it from. And I have just created this and made this my ink spray box. And I tried to get a box that was like a little bit shallower. And this just fits like in between two, like some of my furniture. It's not a super big deal. Okay. Oh, I hope this worked. Nope, it didn't. I got to run it through again. All right. So my piece, I need to add a shim. I didn't realize that. So none of my pieces are falling out. So I have to redo this step. So pro tip, check before you put away your embossing machine. So I'm going to run this through again. But after I do that, I'm going to punch out all these pieces and organize them. So let's back up just 1 second because we are not ready for ink sprays yet, people. And let's grab my machine and let's try that again. I guess my paper was a little bit thicker than I thought it was. There we go. Okay. It's kind of fitting in like a puzzle piece. All right, let me add a shim to this. And that should work. Oh yeah, I agree, Carrie. Yes, I was just looking at it, Tracy, and like, oh, this is so pretty without me even doing it. Cover plate dies as a stencil for sprays. Oh yes. Well, it's so funny, Terry, that I was thinking about that too as I was going along with this. Okay. It's also a little humid where I am right now. So let's hope this works. Oh, that is not working. Oh man. All right, we're gonna try something else. Okay, we're gonna try something else. All right, attempt number 2, guys, and then we're moving on to something else. I have a really good idea. I know, right? Yes, Judith, it is Angel behind the badge today, which I'm so excited that she's here. And we are talking ink sprays, and we are talking fun folds. We're kind of putting a little bit of fun back. Exciting things going on. So I am using the Zero Waste leaf pattern die, and I am attempting, this is attempt number 2, to get my pieces to cut out right. All right, guys, fighting with it a little bit today, but we got this. Is everybody sending good vibes my way? Also, this might mean that I need a new machine. What do you think? Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time today. Oh, man. Not cool. Some of the stuff moved. All right, let's see what I got here. It's a little bit better. At least I can get some things out. Yeah, my paper, this is just humid in my workshop today. Well, we got some of them. All right, let's try that again. We're getting there. Thanks, Lori. I need that. It is Angel. It is Angel behind the badge today. And thank you so much. I need the good vibes. I'm going to try this one more time. And if this doesn't work, I'm switching out paper because I think it's my paper that is not working today. Okay. All right, guys, attempt number 3. After this, we will try something else. I got 2 pieces out anyway. All right. Okay, let's see. Oh, much better, Lori. It worked. Well, kind of. Yeah, this paper is just crud. All right, I'm gonna grab another piece of paper. I think it's my paper is just really moist. So I'm gonna try something else. Any tips on what happens when your die cutting machine does not cut all the way through, besides doing a shim? Anybody have any tips for that one? And while we're kind of fiddling around, if you share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. And the paper I'm switching to, it's a little bit of a nicer paper. I kind of didn't, it was hard to find again, so I've been keeping it spare. I've been using it sparingly, but I bet you, let's see if it's the paper. So I'm going to try that. If this doesn't work, then we will abandon and try something else and make a completely different card. We'll see how this goes. All right, try the shim again. Oh, yep, pivot it is. All right, and Joni is here. Hi, Joni. How are you doing? Hit your paper with your heat gun. Bubble wrap works well. As a shim, Carrie, would you use bubble wrap as a shim instead of just paper? Oh, wow. Use a metal cut plate. Ooh, Terry, good one. Double stack the cut sheets. And thank you, Lori, for sharing this on YouTube. Appreciate that. All right, we got some good ideas. So when you're having that trouble of die cutting, and it might be, again, it's environment, it's 100% environment. And Lori lives near me, so she knows. Right now it's raining quite heavily, so it's a little bit humid where I am. Let's see how this goes. And it might just be the paper, or it's a little bit better. Okay. Well, we got some pieces. Let's work with what we got here. All right. We may have to pivot. What time we got? Almost 4. Okay. All right. So I'm going to try this one more time. And I may have to use the big guns over there because this is just not working on this one. So I'm going to take a moment. I have a Gemini. I love that machine because it is, it's such a great machine and it gives a lot more kind of pressure to it. But obviously I don't use it that much on my live because it's hard to, bring it over here. I have it plugged in a different location. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. And I'm going to put a second shim on this. And I bet you that will work. All right, upside down cutting. That's a good one. Spelled on, that's what I'm thinking, Serena, is that must have been it. So I think I might need to purchase a new one for me. Which, what can we say? I have to get a new machine. Oh, no. But I think that's what I might have to do. Okay, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to try this in my other machine. And I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. And I'd love to know your tricks for using ink sprays to not get dirty. Do you have a machine? Do you use a box? How do you do it? Oh, shit. I gotta tell you, my machine did not like this one. Come on, come on, come on. All right, still having a little trouble. Okay. Oh, this is better. Oh, I think we got it, guys. Thank goodness. It definitely needed a little more power. I think Serena is right that I just need a machine. All right, we have Gemini tool. Yeah, I didn't try that one to hit it with the heat tool first because I'm just, of course, I'm on a live because these things always have to happen when you're live. But now I have a couple of different pieces, so that's great. This won't happen when you try this at home, so don't worry about that part. But I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to pop these pieces out. And I don't, unfortunately, I have a knife. I don't have a knife because that would have been my other way to do this is to use a knife. So I'm going to, I want to use these as a little bit of a kind of a little bit of a fall theme, but I love the greens. So I'm going to be using some different colors of my ink sprays. And you'll see as I pop these out that I have left over this, it's really a stencil. And because I used some pretty heavyweight paper, I can actually use this as a stencil. Or I could even, if I had done this on like a prettier cardstock, or I could ink spray this piece and then use that as a base for something else. And that's the neat thing about the zero waste cover dies is, or the zero waste line itself, is you can do a lot with it. And these you can, layer on top of each other, create your own look. There's just a lot of possibilities with this line that I really, really like, because there's so many different things. I always look at something and I'm like, oh, what else can I do with that? I'm going to be buying this. I'm hopefully owning it for a while. What else can I do with it? And that's something that I really, really take into account. And that's why I like the zero waste line a lot. All right. And in my haste, I'm obviously just kind of ripping these guys out. So bear with me as I do this. But I am going to get these together. So I have some colors that I'm going to pick. And of course, I have to pull in some antique silver. And the antique silver is great because it gives this beautiful metallic shine. And it is a little bit gray, but I like to actually mix that with a couple of other colors. That's kind of one of my favorite things to do. And I have a couple of different greens. And I have this really light green. I have frayed leaf, and I also have some mountain mist that I thought were pretty. But then I have this warm sunshine, and I wanted to go for a little bit of a fall look. So I'm going to add in a little bit of yellows and some reds as well. All right, so you can see how quickly, once your machine actually does this, yeah. Oh, and thank you, Serena, because that's what we're going for. It's not going to look exactly like that because that is using a different zero waste. That's using this one, the zero waste 3D floral cover die, which is such a nice set and behaved a lot better in my machine. But this one, I really wanted to use these leaves because, I don't know, the leaves just kind of felt fallish to me. So I wanted to, and I love the fact that you have these little doodads because those are neat to use as center marks. You can layer them on top of each other, so you can do a lot. So here I have this piece that I can do something with. Yeah. Oh yeah, and shaker cards, Vicky. Oh, such a great idea. All right, so I'm going to move these guys to the side. I'm going to bring my little box in. And again, I'm using the zero waste leaf pattern die. So I'm going to bring my little splat box in. And I'm going to line this up where I'm going to start putting these pieces in. And I want to kind of put them into different sections. And I'm okay if, they move, if they get like splattered with a couple of different colors, because that's kind of what I'm going for a little bit. And got some tiny guys here and a couple of other tiny guys. All right, so now all these circles, I'm just going to grab these and I'm just going to throw them in the corner of my box over here. I don't care if they're right side up or whatever. I'm just going to spray the bejeebers out of them right now. And I'm just grabbing them and going. Okay, so here's my box. I kind of have 4 quadrants, and that way I can do some different colors. Okay, so these are all here. Just going to flip them a little bit. And I got some extra pieces that I really don't want, but that's all right. Okay, so let's move around. Got my pieces. Now we're going to go to town. Okay. All right. Magic mat. I do, Vicky. I'm going to try that next time when I have some time. I'm going to try that and see what happens with the. I like that idea of the bubble mailer. I'm going to use that. But thank you guys for the patience. I appreciate it. All right. So this is Mountain Mist. Beautiful, beautiful green. And I'm just going to go to town. So you can hear that shaker. And I'm just going to give this a nice kind of background of green. And I love this because I feel like I'm out like spray painting and doing graffiti. And this is a yellowy green. This is frayed leaf. I'll do this on this side. And add a little up there to that guy. And this is Lagoon. Lagoon's a lot darker. So I'm just going to make this over on that side. Okay. So those are all my greens. I want to make these guys blue. So I'm going to grab some sea glass. And I'm just going to add some blue to that one too. And then here's some yellow. So I'm going to, this hasn't even been used yet. Just want to make those a little bit yellower. And I want this one to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to grab the antique silver and just go to town here with these guys. And I know some of it, it's getting kind of splotchy. I don't mind. I like that. In fact, this is not spraying because it's a little clogged on me because I've used it so much. I'm just going to go ahead and just spread these on. And the antique silver is really pretty. It gives it a little bit. Oh, I know, Serena. Oh, my gosh. That would be awesome. A little bit of nice colors in there. All right. I'm going to grab, I'm going to try this frosty pink. Oh, no, I don't. I want to use this. This is antique gold, so I'm going to give this guy a little bit of antique gold. Okay, and I'm going to grab some soft lilac and hit these guys because I want them to be a little bit purpley blue. Okay, I think we're good. And then I usually top it off with some iridescent, and iridescent is exactly what it says. It just gives it some different color to it. Okay, so I sprayed like crazy. I'm just going to let these dry and let these kind of go. They're so nice, Judith. They are so nice. And then you see how you can layer it, but I'm going to hold this up a little bit. Do you see how neat that looks? I like the effect. I like this kind of splotchy looking effect that you get with this. And if you wanted to, you could go in with an ink blending tool and give it a more of a solid color. I could have started with, you know, a lighter colored cardstock. There's a whole bunch of things that I could do, but that's really what I wanted to do with this. Do I want to change that? No, I'm going to keep that blue. No, I'm going to add a little Cosmic Berry. Cosmic Berry, it's dark. It's really dark and stuck. This just tells you that I need to use these a little bit more. I'm just going to add a little bit of red. Such a beautiful purple. So it's like a deep, 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 deep purple color. It's so pretty. And I got a little inky, but that's not too bad. Okay, so I'm going to move those to the side. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a little bit of water. Mr. Mister is great because I know that as soon as I touch the paper, I'm going to get ink splotches everywhere. I think so. I think it's easier than ink smooshing. And I agree, Vicki. The camera does not capture the magic here of how shimmery these are when they're in the light, especially the antique gold and the silver. Oh, gorgeous. Like, I don't know if they came out with a rose gold. That would be awesome. Came out with a couple of other things. Great. All right. So that was our zero waste leaf pattern die using a bunch of sprays. And I like to have choice. So you can see I got I have a couple of different ones. I don't have everything, but I got a couple of different ones in a couple of different colors. All right, so I'm just taking a second just to kind of clean up my area here. So I don't want to get anything on my finished card project. Okay. Oh my gosh, Amy Tangerines and spray foam. Yes, that would be beautiful. All right, I'm going to come up just a little bit for you guys so you can see what we're doing. Okay. All right. Okay, so here's my Z-fold card. So this is what we had started with. And I want to, again, a similar pattern to this is what I want to do is I want to make sure I'm hitting as many of these sides as possible. So when someone receives this, this will fit in a regular size envelope. So this is the front of our card. And when they open it, they're going to open it to here. And I love having some sort of continuity as it goes along. Now, I tend to use pattern paper for these middles. And I wanted to grab the paper pack from the Wildflower paper pack. I hope the heck we still have this one. It's such a pretty paper pack. If you haven't seen Altenew papers, make a little stop when you go next to the website because they have such amazing papers. They're just really, really pretty. And what really spoke to me when I was looking at this is there is this one here, this dark green is just really, really pretty. I love this. Oh, I think I might actually go with this guy too. It's just really nice colors. I like this dark green. I felt like it was something that looked very fall to me, and I thought would be nice with the with this. So I thought it would be really nice. And actually, this is really super nice too. So I think I'm going to grab this one. Okay. All right. Both of these are pretty. This would be nice too, just this little section. Actually, I think I'm going to do that one instead. Okay, so I got two of these. Now, for this part, the easiest thing, in my opinion, to do is just to eyeball it and to just use a pencil to trace it out, what you need. So this section has this angle to it, but it is about 4 3/4 by 3.5 by 3.5. And then the shortest side over here is like 3 3/4. So we're just going to eyeball that section. So what I really need to do is I'm going to cut out a piece that is just a little bit shorter. So I'm going to cut it out right here, and I'm going to cut it out right about here. And then all I have to do is I'm going to go up about 3.5. And I'm just going to go ahead and put those together. So right about here. Okay. I promise this will work. Okay. Where's my guy? Here he is. Oh my gosh, Judith, their papers are gorgeous. Needs help with Windows. All right. And I am just going to cut this right along here. Again, I try to save every single scrap of what I have, because heaven forbid, too much. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm just going to eyeball this, and it's a little high, so I'm just going to cut it at the top and just cut off that little bit of section. And that should work. Okay, and voila, we have our little section. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this section on. So love this paper. Wildflower pack is probably my favorite out of all of the packs. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I hate it. I always hate double-sided papers, because then I'm like, oh, but I love this other side too. And what's nice about the pattern papers is they all match. And so you have this ability to, you know, no matter what you're doing, it's going to work for you. Okay. All right, so we're just going to put this guy right up here. And now I'm going to do the same thing on this side, but I wanted to use this green paper. I thought this was really pretty. I like this as well. So this is the same measurements. It's just that the angle is now a little bit different. So I'm going to do the same thing here. We're coming up right about here. This is where I want to be. And I know I'm coming up, I think it was 4. It was 4.5. All right. So right about here. Okay. And then we're just going to take those and we're just going to measure that right along. And again, what's nice is by using the pattern paper, you're using all of these things, and it's really quick. It's really, really quick and easy to do to get that out of there. You also could, if you wanted to, we talked about, like, you know, using backgrounds. You could use backgrounds, you know, that you made, like, because I have all these other ones. I was thinking about, you know, spraying those and cutting them. They would be pretty. I went with the wildflower paper pack though. I think it's nice too. And again, this way I know like the angle I'm looking for. That's why I'm doing it this way. Okay. All right. Got it. And that works great. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and add on a little bit of tape. And here is my little paper. All right, beautiful. So now when we look at that, it's already has those two. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know, Alicia. They have to. And I know we use algebra and geometry. You never know. It's really important to do all of these things. Okay. So now I'm going to come back to this. So this is the zero waste leaf pattern die. And I'm actually going to use this as a stencil. And there's a lot of pieces that are out of it, so it's not super sturdy. I could, I could have added like another piece under this, but I'm just going to do a really, really light stenciling with this with a little bit of sea glass. So nothing too crazy, just a little bit of green that I want to add in. And I'm just going to come down and I'm just going to add some color. That's all. Just going to add a little bit of color. So I'm not taping this down. I'm just, I want it to be nice and soft. That's my whole goal, is I want this to be nice and soft. And I'm going to do it a little bit darker up at the top, and then this is going to fade down. Now this is a pretty thick piece of paper. So when I lift this up, you'll be able to see it very soft, but not totally, like you can start to see this little pattern that's going on, but it's really nice to have this here. And then again, it's zero waste, right? So as I go down, I wanted to put a lot more ink up there, but I'm just going to do this a little bit lighter because I still want to have room for a message. I happen to like to write in my cards. I don't know about anybody else. I know when my mother sends the kids cards, she doesn't really write a message. My aunt, on the other hand, oh my gosh, it's like a book. You're getting a book from her, I swear. All right, so again, just nice and soft, really, really nice and soft that we're looking at. Oh, it's beautiful, Carrie. Like I said, oh, Crystal, I'm so glad that you are here, that you were able to make it. Thank you so much. We are talking zero waste cover dies and a little bit of ink stenciling, and that's what we are talking about today. All right, and what I love about the sea glass, and like it, I know it's a blue and I'm putting it in with these greens, but what's nice is I see it as a neutral, so it can really go with a lot of different things. And since we're going to be adding a lot of green on, a little bit of green and yellow, I thought this would be great by adding this blue, just to kind of neutralize stuff. All right, so I'm doing the same thing. I'm going really heavy down here at the bottom with this stencil, and then I'm going to go a little bit lighter up at the top. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got. And then we're going to bring in, I'm going to go ahead and put my sentiments in right now before we move into actually putting the leaves in. Okay. All right, so here is my card so far. So I have a Z-fold, tri-fold card. Front panel, we put the paper here from the Wildflower paper pack. Open it up, we got another gorgeous piece of Wildflower paper pack. And then this is our final panel. So thank you so much, Alicia. This is so, I have to say, sea glass and mountain, what is it? Sea glass and dewdrops are like my go-to for this. All right, so I'm going to grab this guy. Now, I would love to know this because I was pulling, I go through, like when I prepare for these shows, I go through and I'm like, okay, what do I want to grab for sentiments? And I would love to know if you guys have like a go-to Altenew sentiment like that. Like, and I have to say, for me, one of them that I keep grabbing is Monsteras in quotes. And I love this. I think it's so good. It's very, it can go from benign to like really making sure that like whatever card it is that everything's in here. Okay, everything's in here. If you want to send a card that's like, hey, thank you, you're doing great. If you want to send, like, I'm sending thoughts and prayers your way today, If you want to send a card that's like really, really encouraging for somebody who's going through a tough time, you have this, you are amazing for facing this with so much courage. So this, I feel like, is a gamut. Like it really runs from like, you know, we're going to send a hello card all the way to, I want to send something that's really, really personal just for you. Cause I want to say that I know what's happening. And this is what I want to send with you today. If you don't have this, check this set out. Ooh, versatile greetings too. Also good. Shadow behind the die cut sentiments. Very, very good ones. Very, very good ones. But I love these ones. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to grab this little thank you up here. And I love these leaves as well, because you can add those in when you need to. But really, really nice set. And I love the font on this too. Dare I say, I just like this font. I think it's cool. And this is neat too, because you have all this real estate over here to put like a really nice little sentiment as well. I'm just going to use a block. I'm not going to grab my stamp wheel out. So I'm just going to grab my block and I'm going to do this in black, but I want to put some clear embossing powder over it because I will mess this up. So because of that, I want to make sure I use my embossing buddy bag. All right. On this one. This one is called Monsteras in Quotes. Sherry, you should check that one out. It's really nice. I grab it because I also like the font. I just really like the font because it's nice and clear, but it's got like a little flourish, but it's not like so, like, you know, when you have those scripty fonts and you can't really read what the heck it says. I like this one because it's got a little flourish, but it's clear. Like it's easy to read. All right, I am just doing this. Ready, everybody? Take a collective breath. And down. You can let that out now. Oof. All right, there we go. Okay, just making sure that that ink is making contact. That's what we're doing there. Okay, beautiful. So now we have this on. I'm just going to add a little bit of clear embossing powder, and that's also going to make this a little bit darker, which I love. And then I promise we're going to go back to those leaves that we ink sprayed a little bit ago. That it took me 20 minutes to try to get out of the packaging, but we did it. All right, so I'm just going to hit this with a little bit of heat. And Alicia, isn't it the best sentiment set? Oh, it's so good. Because I think it's just, you know, sometimes I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what to say or what I'm trying to say. And sometimes I just need a sentiment set. And this one I like because it's got everything in it. And again, it's clean. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our other stuff. Again, I have some real estate, so I love that too because I can kind of grab some of these and add those in as well. So I love that too. Okay, so now let's bring our guys back. Hopefully we are dry. Oh, I think we're dry. We're semi-dry. Okay, so we got some leaves here. And I'm going to put these up. I'm going to see. Nope, it's not. I don't know if you guys can see that iridescent catching the light. What do you think, Angel? I don't know. It's kind of in there. So there's my like little green guys. These are my little yellow guys. And then I have these guys that are a little bit more of my blue. And that's, remember I did that antique silver in there? So you can barely tell. Oh, here we go. There we go. Because that got in there. That antique silver is over there. Yeah. So nice. Okay. And then I have my little doodads. And my little doodads are still a little wet. I just got some razzleberry on myself. I'm going to keep my little doodads close to me. And I'll bring those out in just a second. Okay, just make sure I'm not messing up. Now, I also wanted to zhuzh this up a little bit. So I think I'm going to grab some gem sparkles and I'm going to add those in. So this now is just a matter of where does it make sense to put all of these guys? And I can rip leaves off. I can keep them together. I can do whatever the heck I want to do. And that's what I'm going to look at right now. So I'm just kind of playing around and seeing what makes sense for these guys. And once I think I have it where I want it to go, then I'm going to start gluing them down. I'm not going to use Instant Dimension foam tape, but that is a great spot. This is like a great time to use that, because if you want to like layer some up or put some down, that's would be really great idea too. Okay, I'm going to move this guy, and I think I'm going to rip this one off there. Okay. I do like them kind of hanging over a little bit. I'm going to rip that guy off of there. There we go. And I think I'm going to try to go down this way. There we go. Oh my gosh. You should see it, Carrie, in real life. She's convinced me not to buy this die. No. I got to say, Yvonne, it is great. I swear. It is so good. And again, the leaves are so neat to use. Now I'm just grabbing some tape. This is just a satin masking tape, just because I want to like play around with this, see where everything's going. I am going to just tape my card down because I want to see this as a 3D thing. So I'm just going to tape my edges just to keep them in place so I don't have to keep doing that. And then I'm going to put these in here too. Oh, thank you so much, Alicia. All right, here we go. And I have to say, Yvonne, all of the, just check out the zero waste, because there's so much cool stuff in there. So even if you're like, yeah, leaves, I don't know, check out the new one, the autumn leaves set. So pretty. And here we go. All right, I think I'm liking that a little bit. And then I'm just going to grab a couple of these and just pull them in. Yeah, okay, we got it. I can see it. I can see it now. And my glue, of course, is not working, so I'm going to do this with just some dry tape. Also, because this is repositionable initially, what's great is you can use the Altenew tape just to get them down, and then you can pick them up and move them again. Or if your leaves happen to bust open. And I want to point out, I did not use watercolor paper. You could, and I did ink these a lot. Like I did ink these to within an inch of their life. But I wanted to use them. There we go. That's better. I wanted to use them. I just wanted to show you guys that you can use this with just some basic papers. So I didn't use any sort of specialty papers with this. All right. And again, what's nice is that I can lift and build these up and etc. So nice. And I'm just going to grab, thanks, Lori. These are so pretty. And I'm just going to grab a couple of gems. And all I'm doing here is just adding a little bit of zhuzh. I could even take the pieces from the set, those little doodads, those little circles, and just put those in the middle of some of these. But I'm just going to grab some of these sparkles just to give it a little bit of extra something, something. Okay, and now we're going to start to fill this in. So let me fill in this side too. And I can even mix and match sets. If I have any flowers left over from the last time, I can grab those flowers and use those as well. Okay, so now let me show you what we're going to do up here. All right, so I'm going to pull that stem off. And I want this guy, this is kind of a main guy, so I'm going to put him up here. And I love it when they kind of hang over a little bit. So that's pretty fun. Oh yeah, great idea. I was thinking about that too, Carrie, using some sort of like press and seal just to kind of keep them together. But I'm just kind of gluing them and seeing how they go. Like I said, this is repositionable, so it's nice to use so you can see it. Okay, there we go. And because we use those color families, everything's going to look nice together. This one I think came out my favorite. This one I used I think this was the frayed leaf. Yeah, this was the frayed leaf, and I used the antique gold with it, and a little bit of the frosty pink. This one I think I like it best. This little leaf guy. So I'm going to use him right up here. Don't love that. So see, I can just pick it up and move it, so it's not a big deal. All right, let me move that guy. And I'm just going to come right up here. There we go. Okay. And add these little guys in. And I want to put in a little bit more of blue right here. And just add that guy right in there. So it gives you just this like little crowning achievement. So cute. It's so cute. And Sue, I'm so glad you'll watch. What we were doing today, just as a recap, because we're right at the end of our show, is I was using the zero waste leaf pattern die. And it did take me a couple of tries to cut this out, but eventually it was definitely my paper. I had to use a better quality paper. And so as I cut that out, I grabbed those pieces and then I used ink sprays to ink them up. And we made a tri-fold card using all of these leftover pieces. And I even used the stencil, and that's nice because it looks like the pieces are falling, which is really, really cute as well. And so this is so easy to put together. And then you have this like really, really nice thing to do. And you can see that I started to put some iridescent gems. And even these little doodads, I can add in the doodads, and that will give it a little bit more interest. And I can put those doodads. So just to show you what our inspiration was, and this was using the zero waste 3D floral cover die, but that's where my inspiration came from. And so that's with using the flowers, but I really wanted to get a chance to use those leaves today. So this is what I did. So I hope you guys like it. Thank you guys so much. And I know Vicki, and they're so easy to do. And again, from one sheet of paper, you get 2 cards. And that's the neat thing, because you have all these leftover pieces. And I just save all these pieces. And that's what I meant by adding those little doodads in. So you totally, I know, right, Angel? Thank you guys so much for being here today and for taking a moment of time and Altenew Craft Your Life. We would love to see what it is that you make. So if you could please hashtag Altenew, share your projects on social media and hashtag Altenew. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel and our Facebook group for even more amazing inspiration. And thank you so much, Angel, for being behind the badge. I really appreciate everybody for being here today and taking a little bit of your day. So thank you so much. Have a fabulous day, everybody. Bye.